Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Saddleback Bobcat Volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net as the 10-4 Bobcats host the 8-9 Cypress Chargers. Bobcats looking to get going after a 3-set loss this past week in OEC play, as they are tied for first place at 6-1, while Cypress is 5-2 on this season in OEC play. Starters for Cypress will be Pasha Bontom. Haley Church, the setter, has over 400 assists on the season thus far. Andrea Brasino, Kaylin Flores, wearing number 18 in white, Amanda Kalpikoff, and Zoe Ziegler up front, the leading blocker in the OEC. While the Saddleback Bobcats, they have Bryn Craig Crom, who is the libero. Sophia Vienna, we'll talk more about her as the match progresses. Addison Port wearing number 6. Number 7 is Lulu Utterback. Delaney Wilson wearing number 15. Corey Wilcoxon, number 19. Number 21 in the pink will be Megna Trujillo. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, Ed Ford here at Bobcats Gym. Haley Church in the first set. First serve, we're underway. Vienna back set to Utterback. And there's Flores with a dig. Kalpikoff with a push over for the first point of the match. Belongs to the Chargers. A doubleheader on SportsNetUSA.net of Saddleback Sports. Mark Pavlovich watched the men's soccer team take a 1-0 victory over Santa Ana. Church's second serve. One-handed save by the libero McFarland and miscommunication by Kalpikoff and Church. 1-1. And Mark, you called a victory earlier today?
I did. It was a hard-fought one. Santa Ana thought they had tied it up towards the end of the game with 5 minutes left. Offsides was called against them. So the Bobcats get away with a victory here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Zoe Ziegler not matched at the top. Gives the Chargers a 2-1 lead with the serve. Coming is Audrey Perez for Amanda Kalpikoff. First set just started here in Bobcat Gymnasium. The lefty Perez floats one into the net. 2-2. As out is the libero for the Bobcats. She's out. Wilson back in. Service knotted up at 2 will be Megna Trujillo. Trujillo out of San Juan Hills. 5'9" sophomore. Right hand, little rotation. Church sets far side on a skip. That's in from Brasino. So Andrea, outside hitter, 5'7" out of Lakewood. Didn't get as high as she normally does, but marks she's special as Riley McFarland at service. McFarland, the right-hander. Vienna with the set. Blocked up top. Wilcoxon, had it denied. And Bontom playing keep away, and there's a net violation. And that's against the Bobcats. 4-2, Chargers serve. And Mark, throughout the broadcast, we want to get into a conversation you and Ed had earlier about the OEC, the conference and its athletic programs, and where it ranks in California and the state, and the country. Good serve by McFarland. Church, where she's normally at. There's Flores. Back row, Utterback. Puts it into the webbing of Bontom and gets the point, 3-4 with serve.
Well, you know where we all feel where the OEC ranks when we talk about any of the sports we follow or call on SportsNetUSA.net. We feel that they're all highly underthought about, to say the least.
Sarah Tajic will do the serve. skip over to one more time, and that's Briseño. She gets 2. As the block was into the net, 5 serving 3. Out is Church, and in is Hannah Higuera. Kaylin Flores would do the serving for her head coach, Danko Yordanov. Utterback, Will Coxon, and Briseño tap. Vienna, quick set, puts it down is Delaney Wilson. Wilson out of Las Vegas Faith Lutheran High School. Very athletic, 111 kills coming into this match, 2.85 kills per set. Corey Wilcoxon out of Tesoro, wearing number 19 in the pink uniforms. Higuera bump to Utterback, Vienna. And it's a ricochet off of Perez into the chest of Flores, and 5-all here in the first set. Corey Wilcoxon is undecided with her major, also plays beach volleyball for the Bobcats, or will play beach volleyball in the springtime. Back set to Briseño. She's 3 for 3 on her kill attempts, and that's 6-5 Chargers. And Mark Saddleback a little bit out of sorts after a 3-set sweep. That was against Orange Coast.
Yeah, they were the team of the week last week after winning 8 consecutive matches.
And that's out on the bump by Bonton, 6-6.
And of course, you were talking about kills. I mean, Rydell of Santiago averaging 4.69. Hayes of Riverside, 4.49. Wilcoxon, 3.48, one of the top ones in the OEC.
And there's a punch over by Kalpikoff, and there's a quick left-hander by Vienna. She's very smart at the setter position, is number 5 in the pink and the maroon numbers, and there is one put away by Utterback. So the Bobcats trying to find their stride, up 7-6 here in the first set. Back to serve is Bryn Craig Crom. Sophomore libero, stands 5'4". Utterback utterly destroys the free ball, and it's 8-6.
And of course, blocks per set, we don't see her out there right now, is Ziegler. She leads it, but then you have Whitmire from the Bobcats right behind her.
Flores, a back set to Higuera, and she gets the line for a point, and it's 7 serving 8.
And do you say the name Tajik to Chayik, Corey?
Tajik?
Okay. She has 1,000% for hitting.
Yeah, but she's not going to be one of those players up there. I think she's 3 for 3.
That's 1,000%.
7 serving 8. Utterback denied by Ziegler. Higuera there as well. One more time, little softer. Poached back over. 3, third time's a charm. No, a diving dig. And that was by Kastner. They're working Utterback in the first set. He had the hands. So tipped out. 9-7, Saddleback. Out is Tajik. In is Port. So, Mark, I know you got something there for Sophie Vienna.
Yeah, I do, but I'll get to that in a second.
Sounds good. Here's Ziegler on the give and go. She's 6'6" and didn't jump with the left steal. Gets the point. She leads the team in points. And it's 8 serving 9. As After this first set, we'll get into that discussion of what Mark mentioned about the team player, excuse me, the team of the week in the 3C2A and OEC. Player of the week is on this floor as well from the OEC. Haley Church serving 7-8. Will Coxon went down low. Port rolls it. Church with the cross-court. Kapelkoff denied by Utterback, saved, and she finger rolls one over in the middle of the floor, right at that 10-foot line, and it's 10-8 Bobcats. Head coach for Saddleback in his 10th season is Brian Hughes. Lulu, who's a communications major. Right-hander, too strong. Point Chargers, 9 serving 10.
Yeah, you look at Sophie Vienna, assist a game, almost 11. I'll give her 11.
Oh, she's got 11. Always round up. Here's Perez back to serve. Will Coxon, bump from the back is Utterback. Kastner, bump back set, Briseño. I think she's hitting 1,000, 4 for 4 for Andrea.
See, I brought her good luck.
10-10 is your score. You know, this is the first actual Saddleback broadcast that we've done here, well, that I've done for Brian Hughes and his team. Craig Crom has a go away, diving save by Vienna. Here's the Chargers on the opposite side. Ziegler with the power, run down by Utterback. Outstanding rally. Church, one more time to Ziegler, mistimed, and that's a 4-touch. Point, Bobcats. It seems like we've done at least 2 Saddleback broadcasts, where I've been with 2 Saddleback broadcasts this season, but it's always at other places.
Yeah, it has been. Of course, when you talk about Craig Crom out here, one of the leading ace servers for this Saddleback team, which gets an opportunity.
Knuckled over by Ziegler. Here's the end. And a set saved by Wilson. And a net touch by Ziegler. So 12-10 is your score in this first set. Reset the lineups, and that's Trujillo serving. Utterback, Vienna, Wilcoxon, Wilson, and Port. Ace. Trujillo, 7th of the season, 13-10. Saddleback, 3-way tie for first place, and there's into the net with Riverside and OCC. Saddleback coming into the match, tied for 25th in the 3C2A conference, or excuse me, standings, or poll, I should say, and OCC is ranked number 14. Only 2 from the OEC this season. Some might say it would be a down season for the OEC. Outstanding serve brings Chargers within 1 at 12 serving 13.
Well, yeah, we don't, if somebody from the OEC isn't in the top 5 and somebody's right behind them, you know, then we know it's a bad year.
Talking to Brad earlier, as McFarland will serve 12-13. Craig Crom, another set save. Wilson, Church, back to Flores. And it looked like Saddleback was simply out of system, out of rotation, maybe 13-13. But yeah, when Irvine Valley is, you look up and they were 0-9 at one point in this season, you know it's a down season.
Oh, yeah.
McFarland one more time, Utterback. Vienna, Wilcoxon. Church wasn't ready. 14-13. Church got caught looking in the backfield, reading the quarterback's eyes. She thought she was going over the middle, came down the sideline and got one. Sarah back to serve. Tajic out of Tesoro High School.
Well, I thought the Bobcats had called time.
Flat-footed serve. Here's Church. Give and go. And there's Briseño one more time. She's got 5 of the 14 points for the Chargers. Church is out. Flores is in. Flores, Perez, McFarland, Briseño, Higuera, and Bontom from serve to net. Trujillo, give and go. Wilcoxon up into the chest of Flores. Chased down by the Chargers, rally coming. Wilson on the slide, hasn't met. And that is out, 15-14.
Way you watch the Bobcats prowl the sidelines, it looks like Brian Crooks in a football game.
Flores, quick set, Bontom, yes. So 15 all, first set. Mark Pavlovich, before the broadcast, said this has the looks of a 5-setter. And right now, 15-15 in the first. Briseño with the serve. Vienna, long set to Utterback. Hit it where they're not. And that's what she did. That's her 3rd point. And a 1-point advantage. You know, didn't get a chance to walk down to the floor like we wanted to. Still haven't asked her if she's got a relative playing at UC Davis on the volleyball squad. Craig Crom. Kalpakov. With the windup, Trujillo diving and saved it was McFarland. One more time, quick set, not quick enough as Kalpakov read it, anticipated, and it's all tied up at 16. Ziegler back in for McFarland. Kastner doing the serving for Bontom. Back from that far side, from that opposite side, was met at the line, and Higuera, easiest point for her of the night is Saddleback. Not happy, a little frustrated as they go down 17-16. Ryan Hughes says, we need a timeout. Here on Bobcat softball, volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net.
Don't forget, next week on Tuesday, we'll be back here at Saddleback, men and women's soccer, here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So Cypress 8-9, 5-2. Kills per set 10-3-1, 166 hitting percentage, 9.2 assists per set. You turn around and look at Sophie Vienna. She averages 11 herself per set. And that's what they average as a team, 11 per set as well. Block shots, 1.96 for Saddleback. One a set for Saddleback, 196 for the Chargers. And service aces per set. Here's an advantage which you can serve, 2 apiece. We'll round up to 3 apiece, since that's what we do. So 17-16 Chargers with the serve, with the lead. Perez, Briseño, Flores, Kalpakov, Ziegler, and Higuera. Trujillo, Vienna, Utterback, Wilcoxon, Craig Crom, and Tajik for the Saddleback Bobcats. Audrey Perez, more playing time as the season has progressed. Utterback looking for her 4th point. Nothing doing. Higuera, it's out. Almost takes out one of the line judges, 17 all. Addison Port checks in. Tajik checks out. Sophie Vienna, you really think she's going to be an all-conference performer?
Oh, yeah. She should be.
Leads the OEC in assists with 445 coming into the match. Trujillo. You know, Trujillo didn't get the lift that she wanted because she tried to disintegrate the ball. 18-17. And I know you like this about her. Classically trained pianist.
Dancing fingers.
Higuera right to Vienna. Craig Crom bumps at Utterback. Too far, no hand, no touch, 18-18.
And you know, if you're a pianist and wrong fall on the floor, there goes 2 broken fingers. You're playing the piano like me. Wait a minute, I don't play the piano.
Major is music, Haley Church. Major is business. Serving here. Vienna back to Utterback, off of 1 foot into the net. And it's 19-18 Cypress. Cypress 5-2 in conference play. Their non-conference season was rough as they 0-6 to start. Utterback dug out, but out of bounds from Perez. Lulu looked a little upset after the first one, or that last point went into the net. She goes back to serve. 6-foot freshman. Sophomore, excuse me. And Church has it go into the net. Timeout, Cypress. In the first set, 20-19 in favor of Saddleback on SportsNetUSA.net. And Mark, even though it's been a close match, has it been the most fluid in your opinion?
No, I mean, it's one of those that stutters when you're out there and you can watch that. So it's one of the things that one team gets on a roll, then the other team takes over, then we give it back to them. It's sort of like being in a room when you go on a road trip and somebody gets the remote control and goes from station to station to station. You know, you watch something for like 10 seconds because we all know what the outcome is, but the person with the remote really doesn't care because they know too, so they go someplace else. You might be able to relate to this.
I wouldn't be able to relate to it.
Well, that's right, because you're not the one watching.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I'm the one with the remote.
That's it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
Because, I mean, that's how it's going, Corey. It's nobody's got that thing where they're staying with, you know.
So
or it's like watching.
Every time somebody gets a point or two, somebody changes the channel on them.
Yeah, it's like watching Fullerton College football. Change the station.
There's more scoring here, Mark. 20-19 Saddleback. Lulu Utterback, the sophomore, looking for her second service point in a row. Flores on one knee is Craig Crom. Far side, Wilcoxon, one of the leaders in the OEC. Flores on the opposite side this time. Back row, Lulu Long, 20-20.
And if each set is like this, I'll see you tomorrow morning.
if each set is like this, the roads will open, go back open on the way up to Victorville.
There we go.
So grab your sleeping bag as Will Coxon met at the net. No good. She took on Ziegler and Higuera, or excuse me, Ziegler and Flores, and won that battle. So Trujillo will do the serving. 56 kills this season, 6 service aces. Riley McFarland, bump set to Briseño. Vienna, Will Coxon tipped by Ziegler. And there's Briseño one more time. I've counted 6 kills. 21-21. Reset the Bobcats. Port, Vienna, Wilson at the net. Back row is Craig Crom, Utterback, and Will Coxon. (22-21). Ace from McFarland. McFarland, Church, and Perez in the back row. Quick to Wilson. There is Church, but too strong. Delaney Wilson was too hot. And Sarah comes back in for Port. (22-22). Only the first set. Up top, Flores stuck with it. She had a nice little roll shot to set that up. Came back over softly, 23-22 with the serve. And here's Kaylin Flores. And we've got the second timeout used by Saddleback in the set. They get 2 a set, and they're down 22-23 to Cypress on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, and this is one of the things too, Corey. You can't let this get away early. You know, we've already talked about it being a 5-setter if you do allow it to get away, and we'll see if that's what happens here on SportsNetUSA.net. And if it's a long 5-setter, I mean, here's the thing. How much depth do you have on your bench if it's a long 5-setter? That's the important thing right here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because one of their key players, Meg Gardner for Saddleback, is out. So since she's not playing, that's 150 kills that you don't have. Will Coxon, who's 5th in the conference with 153 coming into the match. She's going to have to do it on the opposite side, and Utterback on the strong side. She's got 56 kills this season, so she's going to have a strong match. And she really is going to be the key if they want to come out victorious. So Flores with the serve, Perez, McFarland, Briseño, Bontom, and Higuera. And that is strong. Good communication by the Bobcats to let that serve go. Tied at 23. Will Coxon serving. Tajic, Bryn, Craig Crom, Sophie Vienna, Lulu Utterback, and Delaney Wilson. Free ball over. Poor set. Joust. One more. Off the shoulder from Wilson. Utterback, and there's Perez, who's offside. Higuera. 24-23 set point. And timeout taken by Cypress as Corey Wilcoxon was trying to get that service ace. She's 6th in conference.
You know, hey, for any of you that are out there and you haven't heard the franchise voice last night for East LA, don't forget, you can contact me. I have the exclusive right to bobbleheads, the franchise bobblehead. All you have to do is email me, and I can get you one of those. You know, I'd probably get them to autograph it, too, for an extra, you know. So, you know, if you're thinking right now you're looking for something for Christmas, I'd get you the lifelike figure, but it's about the same height, 3.5 feet. So,
you know what? I thought it was going to be one of those. Remember those talking dolls that you get up here?
Oh,
Combine
man.
that with the bobblehead. I figure yours and his, it might be, I don't know, 100 feet long.
I was going to say, there's not enough string to pull on his. Tie the string to the bumper of the car and just tell it to keep driving.
It's nice hearing him call touchdowns again.
It was last night. He had a lot of opportunities, unlike some of us.
Wilcoxon trying to score a touchdown here on this serve. 24-23, serving with the lead, trying to close out this set. Briseño, Flores, back to Briseño. Vienna over to Utterback. Fitting, she closes the set. 25-23, Saddleback on Sportsnet USA.net.
So Saddleback does what they needed to do, Corey, on what looked like it could be a difficult first set against Cypress College. It looked like they might not be able to pull it off because they were so uneven in the set. Is that a good way to put it?
Yeah, like parallel bars, yeah.
You know, and I thought for a second there if Cypress could figure out that way just to keep them off balance, they'd have an opportunity.
And so you opened up and you were talking about the team of the week and in the OEC and the 3C2A for the week of October 7th through 13th. What did Saddleback do during that time?
Well, they won 8 consecutive matches is what they did. They came up and really got themselves back to where everybody thought they should have been from last year. And, you know, when they started off this season, when I saw the first volleyball match, them playing against Albert Robles and I were out here for SportsNetUSA.net, I just sort of went, wow, what happened? I talked to the coach. He told me that a couple of their better players had moved on. One was playing professional volleyball in Europe. And, you know, basically explained to me, hey, this is very much like we have done in the 145 group, made it more of a vocational thing than an educational thing, and said, hey, if I got players that come here, it's to move them on. I thought Saddleback was going to have a down year.
Okay, and you talked about that before we go back into that. Let's divert. You talked to Brian about that, yeah, we want you to get to that next level, but that next level is get a job. Go play professional. That's what you want, so go out and do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they have no problem with somebody transferring. So don't get that wrong. But their real intent is if this is what you want to do and we can get you to that level that you can get paid for it, that's what we want to do for you. And then it's your personal choice. Do I want to go live over in Europe? Do I not want to live in Europe? Is that enough money for me to survive?
And we've talked about that a lot. Do you think that's an outstanding mix of education and
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I think everybody should have that opportunity to go and, you know, achieve. Perry Webster told me that too when we talked about NIL and everything else, dealing with basketball. Perry said, nobody has a right to end up telling people they cannot make a living.
And you said 8 games in a row. They didn't drop more. They only dropped 2 sets in that streak.
Yeah, 8 matches.
Yeah, before they lost to OCC this week in 3 sets. So we start the second set with Utterback from service to net, Wilson and Vienna. Port, Wilcoxon, and Trujillo at the net. For Saddleback in pink on your right side of your screen. Ziegler, Church, Kalpikoff, Flores, Brasinho, who had a strong first set, and Bontom. Riley McFarland set to check in as the libero, along with Bryn Craig Crom for Saddleback on the opposite side. And also, the women's or the athlete of the week in the OEC belonged to a Saddleback water polo player. If you saw that, Hollis Munkoff scored 30 goals and 11 assists in the week, and I believe that was 4 games that she played. That's quite a number.
Yeah. Of course, when you talk about water polo, Cypress, men and women, not doing badly this season here in the OEC, so. Corey Neyland's waiting for basketball. That's not far around the corner to see where the women and the men may be over at Cypress College.
And here's Utter back to McFarland. And there's a mishit by Port, so Chargers strike first as they did in the first set. And the OEC this year in basketball, I thought last year was a down year. I think it's going to take a step up this year. Chargers serving 1-0. Haley Church out of La Habra. Outstanding serve. Had Bryn Craig Crom in quicksand, couldn't move her feet. And as she tried to bump it over, hit her teammate in the back. 2-0, Chargers. Vienna, Wilson from deep. Church set, Ziegler, and it's 3-0. She didn't play much in that first set, Mark. So you got to wonder how a long season is taking its toll on a sophomore.
Yeah, and you know what? I really do believe Cypress needs to win this set.
They're up 3-0 in the second. Wilson trying to get that first point. Kalpikoff rolls it over. Vienna, quick set. Trujillo denied by Ziegler. Back up by Vienna. And Ziegler one more time. 4-0. And she wound up like she was going to hit that and just destroy it, but again, showed a little bit of finesse. First 4 going to the Bobcats. Wilson blocked by Ziegler. You can see why she leads the OEC in blocks, and a diving Port can't keep it up. So the first 5 go to Cypress in the second set. And you were talking about some team getting a rhythm now. It's a little bit more smooth for Cypress. Kalpikoff with 2. Craig Crom. And into the net. Are they going to say last touched? And point goes to, thought it went to Saddleback. So it's
yeah, the coach misinterpreted it. So Corey heard the coach say, what? And it was like, Coach, just relax. You'll get your bowl of chili and salad in just a second.
He would, you wouldn't.
Ah, that's true.
1 serving 5, and there's a float serve, and it's saved. Brasinho free ball. And Wilcoxon into the net. 6-1, Cypress with the serve. And Mark, do you see it's the sets for Saddleback in this second, or is it no lift on the attempts? What do you see as the disconnect?
Well, I see no lift right now. I mean, they look like they have heavy feet, and there's not a lot of body movement on the Saddleback side.
7-1 Cypress, second set. They're down as Saddleback took the first, and Ryan Hughes frustrated, exhausted, exasperated.
Yeah, I mean, Corey, you saw that shot there. It comes in your body. You've either got to move backwards, you've got to move to the side, you come up quicker and get it that way. If you don't do either, you're stuck in no man's land, or no woman's land in this case, and you have the ball get knocked out. So, for whatever reason, there's a lack of movement going on for Saddleback College.
And some of the players in the OEC stats in the top 10. Will Coxon, we said 5th in kills, 6th in service aces. Gardner, who they're missing on the Bobcat side, 6th in kills, 9th in digs, 4th in aces. So that's one of the key players out for the Bobcats. Vienna, 1st in assists, 445 coming into the match. Also 10.11 assists per set, which also leads the OEC. And Bryn Craig Crom, 3rd in digs, 2nd in aces, 6-1 in conference. Another excellent serve as it hits the net. Will Coxon over to Church, cross court to Briseño. Crom is there. Corey has a flat-footed Perez. He can't connect. It's 2 serving 7 now as Sarah Tajic checks in, the sophomore from Tesoro. An accounting major, scholar athlete. Ziegler in the middle, denied. So it's voting season, Mark, and well, nothing went through Congress, but she got vetoed on that. 3 serving 7.
You know, I bet you Ryan Osborne's eating more donuts today as the Mets win 12-6 over the Los Angeles Dodgers.
That ain't nothing but good news. Here's Flores on the backside, no pancake there. Kaylin, her first. Second set, Chargers got off to a quick 6-0 and 6-1 lead before a timeout was called. Riley McFarland leads the team in aces. One of the team leaders in digs, I should say, at 140. She's second, but she can't get that serve to go. 4 serving 8. Mark, it looked like there was a grenade shot over the net. Everybody scattered, and it's 5 serving 8. And you know what I like about this booth now? We don't need a parka. 5 serving 8. Will Coxon looking for her second ace. She doesn't get it. Briseño continues her hot play from the first set. She's got 8 points. And it's 9-5 Chargers.
Yeah, the Chargers need to find a rhythm. They need to put about 4 or 5 points together right about here.
Yeah, as well as they're playing Saddleback in striking distance. Vienna with the left out. Good idea by Utterback. 10-5. Flores back at it. Freshman from Cypress High School. Utterback on to redeem. McFarland is there at the net. Briseño too far. No touch. 6 serving 10. So Bryn will do the serving. Will Coxon, Tajic, back row, Utterback, Trujillo, and Vienna at the net. Saddleback serving right to left. Near the net with the left was Higuera. Utterback trying to play the angles. She does that well. Briseño free over. Quick set, Trujillo. And out of position, Perez was chasing behind McFarland. She thought it was going long. McFarland got a hand on it and went to where Perez was standing, 7 serving 10. And a changeup from Briseño on the near side. Utterback coming back, 8 serving 10. Briseño quiets the Saddleback crowd. They have serve and a 3-point advantage as Kalpikov comes in for Perez. So Briseño steps back to serve, the sophomore from Lakewood, a biology major. And you see the whole back row of Saddleback smiling, Mark, because I got it, you got it, we got it, nobody got it, but it went out.
Yeah, and I almost thought they just sort of each looked at it in their own mind and thought it was going to go out.
Sophie Vienna, she was an athlete of the week in the OEC, September 22nd or 23rd to 29th. Utterback, cross court, two-hand dunk. Trujillo made it too easy. And now it's 10 serving 11. And Mark, the week she won the athlete of the week, we'll get to that in a moment, as a timeout taken by Cypress in the second set. Cypress does have a 1-point advantage, 11 to 10. This is Bobcat Volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net. But the week she won it, 75 assists and 22 digs in 2 matches.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive numbers when you think about it. I mean, that's somebody can go down and get it when you know what's happening out there.
And we mentioned some stats in the OEC for the Saddleback players. Zoe Ziegler is 3rd in kills and 1st in blocks in the OEC. Haley Church is 6th in assists. Kaylin Flores 11th in assists. Riley McFarland is 8th in digs, and Andrea Briseño 8th in kills. Other scores around the OEC, Irvine Valley, who's had a rough season. They won the first set against Santiago Canyon, 25-22. And then they're in the second set, and they're up 20-15. We're here in the second set as Cypress took the first set. Riverside is up 2 sets to nothing over Santa Ana. Kalpikov pushes. We'll reset the lineups in just a moment. No hands, and that is out. Trujillo tried to tie it up. And now it'll be 12 serving 10 as Kastner, Briseño, Flores, Kalpikov, Ziegler, and Higuera in white for the Chargers and the serve. Sophie back to Utterback. Briseño ready on the spot. Kalpikov looked like it hit the net. Or,
and of
excuse
course,
me, the antenna.
I was just going to say our other volleyball match we had here on SportsNetUSA.net, East LA rolls over Rio Hondo, that being called by Albert Robles here on SportsNetUSA.net. He got out with a 3-0 match, unlike the look on ours.
I don't know what type of magic she put on that ball, because it was sailing. and sailing and sailing.
You know, I saw her go to her hair.
And then it just stopped. 12-12. After that hot start, Mark, you said Cypress needed to put him away.
Yeah, they really did.
They did not, and that's out. 13-12 now Cypress. That just shows you the resiliency and, again, the promise that Saddleback has had this season. They're hovering around, well, they're in the top 25, tied for 25th in the state. And it should be a net touch by Flores. And 13-13. Coach Jordan, I'll say, hey, hey, hey. You know, it looked like contact to me.
So there'll be a conversation amongst the officials.
And you always get a kick out of it when the coaches talk to the officials, because isn't it, what's the rule again?
In this case, it's not supposed to happen.
Okay.
Again, it's supposed to be a gentleman type of sport.
And I like the decisiveness of the officials, right or wrong. It's done our way. Assistant coaches are Fresenius and Dene for Saddleback. And for Cypress, assistant coaches, Christian Yordanoff, Hubbard, and Maxwell on the sidelines. So 13-13. Second set on SportsNetUSA.net. Saddleback Bobcat Volleyball. Church to Kalpikoff into the net. Wilson was there, hit her elbow. Saddleback their first lead of this second set at 14-13.
Yeah, and this is where Cypress needs to do something, not to let this set and this match get away from them.
Trujillo had a strong match thus far. Church back to Briseño into the net. And it's 15-13. Saddleback feeling that momentum, feeling that confidence, and it's growing. At the net is Wilcoxon, Wilson, and Port. Vienna, Utterback, and serving is Trujillo. Psychology major with the last 2 points. Flores angles. Vienna chases it down. Zoe Ziegler quells the momentum. 14 serving 15. It was 4 straight. It was 4 straight that she put a stop to. Kaylin Hanley, number 7 in white, checks in for Cypress. Audrey Perez, the only lefty on the squad. Sophie Vienna sets it for Wilcoxon. Through the arms of Hanley. Here's Briseño one more time. She's blocked, but out. 15-15.
Deja vu.
What they say, all over again. And talk about a nice serve. Utterback didn't look like she was ready. Stuck a hand out there. Hits Wilson in the back. And it's now 16-15 Cypress. Vienna, Wilson. Vienna from Wilson. Or excuse me, Wilson from Vienna ties it at 16. We saw Delaney against Fullerton a few weeks back And that was simply devastation. The Hornets had no chance against their front line. Ziegler, pancake by Craig Crom, keeps it alive. Will Coxon puts it away. Outstanding work, outstanding floor work, 17-16 by the Bobcats.
Yeah, and that really showed you the athleticism by these young people that play the game of volleyball.
17-16, Sarah Tajic. Serves to Perez. Church, you need a point. That's where you go. And off the fingertips and out of play, 17-17. Whenever they get in trouble, they do go to Zoe Ziegler.
You know, I mean, volleyball is that type of game that you've got to realize if somebody's going to throw dollar bills, you always have to be ready.
Exactly. Here's Riley McFarland tied up at 17. Sophie give and go on a slide, 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 18-17, Wilson with the point. Will Coxon will be a first or second teamer in the OEC once all the votes are tabulated. Briseño was going to say she's been quiet this set, but there she goes, 18-18. So in the second set, Vienna, who's been in there every point, Wilson, Will Coxon, Tajic, Craig Crom, and Utterback. Kaylin Flores to Bren. Wilson one more time diving on the floor as McFarland with the save. And again, out of system spectacularly, 19-18.
But you like the change of pace. I mean, you can beat up on somebody all the time, but you have to change the pace to get them to be off their feet.
Good work at the top. And that hit line, no, it came out. So 8:20, serving 18, timeout, Bobcats.
And again, Corey, when you think about this match and everything that's going on, both these teams are playing like if they don't win this one, they won't make the playoffs, is what this is like.
You like that?
I do. I do.
And for Cypress, it could very well be a true statement based on their overall record. They're 8-9 overall, but 5-2 in conference, so that will help them maybe get an at-large. But Saddleback is playing not for the playoffs, but playing to, once they get to the playoffs, get back to where they were during that 8-game win streak.
Yeah, and they've got to find out a way. I mean, when you looked at it and said Cypress was 8-9 overall, but Cypress 5-2 in conference. I mean, that's the impressive part when I think about Cypress this year, because if you'd have said to me after the few matches that we watched they were going to be 5-2 in conference, I might not have agreed with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, wasn't their first 6 matches against like top 10 teams basically? And they had lost a lot from last season. And Saddleback, as you mentioned earlier, lost a lot from last season, but they've rebounded and really is having a season that they expected, but maybe the pundits did not. Here's Aguirre again. Vienna, Craig Crom, Utterback, strong out. Touch, touch. 19 serving 20. So it is 19 serving 20. There we go, they get it right. Guerra, Craig Crom is there in the right spot. Utterback one more time. Yes, ma'am. 20-20. We saw this in the first set. It was 20-20. The first set, Saddleback took 25-23. Bren with the serve, another psychology major, second team OEC last season. Free ball over and out. Big point for Saddleback.
Yeah, and you can see the little individual confusion by the young women from Cypress College. And in saying that, we're going to get a timeout on the floor by your Cypress Chargers. It's the Bobcats 21, the Chargers 20 here in the second set after Saddleback College won that first set in a very, very tight match so far tonight here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ed Ford, and the old guy. Happy to bring you this match so far, and it's been an exciting year of sports here on Sportsnet, USA.net, Corey, especially as we go into the women's season in soccer, volleyball, and basketball, which is right around the corner.
And an exciting season, exciting coaches that we get to watch every broadcast. And speaking of coaching for Saddleback, Brian Hughes, we mentioned in his 10th season, the 2023 OEC Coach of the Year, as they took the OEC conference last year. Local guy, played at Irvine Valley, played at Irvine High School, coached Villa Park, coached Northwood, and various clubs in South Orange County. And he's one of those guys that every time you talk to or you see him, it's a good conversation.
Yeah, he enjoys people. You can tell he cares about his players.
Brasenio Crom is there. Utterback, Perez, and Flores. One more time to Brasenio, pushes this one. Wilcoxon digs it out. Utterback with the fingertips. Riley McFarland with the save, up and over. Rally here. Utterback ends it, 22-20. Here at Bobcats Gym. Greg Crom has got the last 4 points. Brasenio rolls it over. On one knee is Wilcoxon. Utterback one more time. 23-20. The Bobcats trying to close out. That's 5 straight for Brent. Church with the left, no, up and under. And she can't save it. Nice job. A good rotation, or shouldn't say rotation. Good fake by Brasenio. Went up with the right, finished with the left. Kind of Brianna Stewartishness on a layup. 21 serving 23. Vienna, Utterback. And they call it one more touch. Set point, 24-21, and they have the serve. Mark, I had a volleyball name right on the tip of my tongue. I was waiting to use that all day. And right when I wanted to use it,
ran away.
Yes, it did, quickly. Sophie Vienna, 24-21. As I saw her do it last night. Excellent serve. Free ball over. Advantage Bobcats. Utterback. Dug out by Brasenio. Kalpikov. Vienna, quick set, back to Lulu. Finishes, set, goes Bobcat way, 25-21. Set number 2 finished. Bobcats up 2-0. This is Bobcat Volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net.
Next Tuesday night, a little Bobcat soccer here on SportsNetUSA.net. The women at 3, the men at 6. Make sure you stick with us. And then SCFA football right around the corner here on SportsNetUSA.net. Always exciting community college football on SportsNetUSA.net. Last night we had the franchise calling a game. That makes it exciting just because of that. But there was some very good games last night. Fullerton loses a tough football game against San Diego Mesa. They were there. Defense was spectacular.
And looking back on that game, they were spectacular. But those key moments every time you mention, Saddleback was 63% on third downs.
You mean San Diego Mesa?
San Diego, did I say Saddleback?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. San Diego Mesa, 63% on third downs. Whenever they needed a big play, they actually got it.
What was the percentage of third downs for Fullerton?
Like I said, San Diego Mesa was 60%.
Yeah, it's been a tough season for Fullerton fans.
Yeah.
Expectations by the fans are always high, and the coaches were realistic. They warned us.
Yeah.
Don't expect too much.
And it's interesting because Saddleback football,
they're playing well.
Expectations
were not high.
Were not high, and they're 4-1 now.
Yeah.
And they just finished beating San Diego Mesa the last time out.
Yeah, they were, because I heard at the beginning of the season, we don't have a quarterback, we really don't have a team when I come down here to do games. And when you look at it, it's like, a little luck, Riverside stumbles. Watch, it's going to be Fullerton College that pulls up the upset, that gets somebody in there that nobody thought they were going to be there.
And it could be Saddleback. I mean, they're playing much better than the word around town was. And so much like their football counterpart, the volleyball counterpart really want to take this one in a 3-set.
Yep. Yeah, you do. You want to finish Cypress now here on SportsNetUSA.net.
We mentioned both their records. Orange Coast, Saddleback, Riverside, all 6-1 coming in tonight's game. Cypress is 5-2. I think they're making the playoffs. I think there's 4 coming from the OEC. Irvine Valley 3-4, Golden West 3-5, Santiago Canyon 2-5, Santa Ana 1-6, Fullerton 0-7.
Well, there is separation from the first 4 and everybody else.
Yeah, because Irvine Valley 3-10, Golden West 5-10, Santiago Canyon 4-5. Santa Ana 6-10 and Fullerton 2-11, so they'll get 4.
Yeah.
14-2 Orange Coast, 10-4 for Saddleback, 11-4 they're hoping after tonight, and Riverside is 12-5.
That's a team that surprises me.
Yeah.
I didn't know Riverside was going to be there. I'm not surprised by Orange Coast. I'm not surprised by Cypress. I'm not surprised by Saddleback. But Riverside, I went, where'd that come from?
Yeah, and I had Cypress there thinking, Coach Jordanoff, he's thinking those first 6 matches. I mean, they really prepared them for conference, and that's why they'll get in. They'll be a tough out in the playoffs. And Saddleback, if they get a home match, see them progressing to the second round. As Trujillo at the net with Port, wearing number 6. Will Cox at 19. The libero is Bryn Craig Crom. Lulu Utterback, number 7. And Sophie Vienna, number 5 in pink. For Cypress, serving will be Haley Church. The libero is Riley McFarland. Andrea Persino wearing number 16. Kalpikoff, Flores, and Ziegler at the net. Sinking serve. Saved and over. Antenna ball. 1-0. And this is the way Cypress started on the second set. Out. Utterback, one at the sideline, hit off of her hand. What do you call that part on your outside of your hand?
Like the heel?
The heel. Kind of up a little bit. I don't know. Thought there was a word for it. Utterback off Ziegler. Saved by Church. They got a free ball. Advantage. Back to Lulu. McFarland is there into the rafters and out. Another free ball for Saddleback. Trujillo into the net. Point for touch. And it's interesting they call the touch because it went into the net, not off the hands of Cypress. Church serving, has the first 3 points. Back to Lulu. And here's the disadvantage of being 6'6", Mark. The ball, as high as you get, I'm already there, so I'm gonna just catch it. And then toss it back over, but you can't catch in volleyball, so 1 serving 3. Right-handed jump serve. No rotation. Poor set by Haley Church. Kalpikov had no chance. 2 serving 3.
And if you're Cypress, you have to play this set like there's no tomorrow, because if you lose it, at least for this match, there is no tomorrow.
2 serving 3. Church, Ziegler into the middle. Crom, another diving save. Flores gets the point, and it's 4 serving 2. Out is Kalpikov, in is Perez to do the serving. The lefty out of King High School in Riverside. Wilcoxon working the angles. 3 serving 4. So Utterback, Vienna, Wilcoxon, and Trujillo has been the mainstays on the floor. For Cypress, it's been Flores and Briseño, along with Church. And you call that dig a reactionary? Saving my face, and it went too close to the net. Ziegler puts it away. So it's 5-3, Bridie McFarland with the serve. McFarland, the criminal justice major, sophomore from Esperanza, serves it into the net, 4 serving 5. Out is Addison Port, in is Sarah Tadgett. Sarah's dad, national team karate coach. Here's Church. Up high, Craig Crom is there. Corey delivers. Ties it up at 5. Third set. First set taken by Saddleback, 25-23. Second set also to the Bobcats, 25-21. And a little touch. It looked like they were playing, was it patty cake up at the net? 6-5. Bobcats with the lead. Flat-footed serve, and there's Bontom. Wilcoxon dug out by McFarland, chased down by Church. Free ball over from Briseño. Sienna sets, slide to Wilson. Diving on one knee. Perez and over. Wilson give and go. No, cross over to Wilcoxon. One more time. Vienna, Wilson pushes it over. It was going long. Perez didn't see it. Danko Yordanov not happy. He was yelling long, long, long. 7-5 Bobcats. So Sarah, she's got on the shoes circa early 90s. 7-5. Church. Wilcoxon's, yeah, Wilson. On that opposite side, Mark, Wilcoxon's doing damage one more time. 8-5. What's beautiful about that is I know you saw it. Last 3 attempts, hard, hard, hard. This one, well, let me just try a little finesse.
Yeah, pulls it off.
8-5. Far, 6 serving 8. And I asked you in the first set, was there any fluidity or rhythm to the match? And you said no. Now we're in the third set. Has that changed? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's a sense of rhythm, not necessarily constructively all the time, but you feel it from Saddleback.
Sophie chases it down. Corey in the middle. Again, it was like another grenade. 9-6. Or actually, how we do lunch. It was the check.
I'm surprised that anybody's here.
9-6. Saddleback trying to close it out. We're in the third set. Bobcat Gymnasium, Corey Wilcoxon. Action, frenetic. And Briseño slows it down. She's in double figures in kills now. Kalpikov slaps 5 with Perez, and she is out. Resetting the lineup for the Bobcats. Vienna, number 5. 15 is Wilson. 19 is Wilcoxon. The libero in white will be Brent Crom. Utterback, number 7, and 1 is Tajik. In white for Cypress. At the net is Kalpikov, 26. Bontom is number 9. Make that number 8. Aguirre, number 5. 18 is Flores. The libero in blue is McFarland. Andrea Briseño serves. Wilson met at the top by Bontom. Good block by her. Action up in the middle, no, far side. Utterback puts it away. 10-7, and that yell that Wilson does, that's the second time she's yelled it. You're thinking it throws off the defender because she thinks she's getting in the middle. Both times it's gone to the outside.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, you look for that extra energy, open up the diaphragm and be able to get a little more, and that's what she does.
And there's an ace. So Bryn Craig Crommark, she had 5 in a row. Saddleback was down 20-18 in the second set. She does the serving. When she's done, it was 23-19. And that's in. Eight serving 11. Kastner. Jasmine is a kinesiology major from Cerritos. And they tried to get in Zoe Ziegler. And now she's back. Now they're checking rotation, checking substitutions. And for the matches that we've done this season, this is the most stringent officiating crew.
Yeah, but I like that. I mean, if rules are rules, so you play by them.
8 serving 11. There's a slide from Trujillo, came a long way, almost got the point and a free ball over. Utterback denied up top. Zoe Ziegler, Hannah Higuera, roofing it, 9-11. Vienna, quick reaction. Trujillo, quicker. So good recovery by Cypress. Better put away by Trujillo, 12-9 with the serve. Sophie Vienna. Music major, low line drive on the serve. Ziegler on her knees, Vienna. Free ball and over. Ziegler said first time didn't work. Second time, I got it. But again, good reaction by the young people on the floor. It was Port, Craig, Crom, Vienna. But Ziegler put it away. 10 serving 12. Utterback dug out by Briseño. There's Vienna with a dig. Lulu, no, in back row. Briseño, Church, skips one to Kalpikov. Craig Crom, she's got at least 10 digs a night. Lulu denied by Ziegler up top. Give her back, little touch. And again, an advantage of being 6'6". If you're 6 foot, you got to get up. If you're 6'6", you got to get up a little bit higher. And they did not. Ziegler brings the Chargers within 1. Ziegler was second team All-OEC last year. This year, she's got a name already engraved on the first team. Utterback, diving dig, almost saved. Good effort by Briseño. Smart move by Lulu.
Yeah, great play. She sees where the defense is. She knows it's an easy shot. She takes her time, gets people to move, and then drops it where there's no one.
Played at Dixie State, played at OCC last year. Taking a tour around the OEC at Saddleback this year. And that is out, 13-11. And that's also what threw me off before I checked the roster and where she went to school. Because I thought she was related to the player who played at OCC last year.
Oh, till you realized it was her?
Yeah. But still got to check on the one for UC Davis now. Right-hander with a jump serve. Unorthodox rotation. Chase down. Wilcoxon. Zoe Ziegler trying to fire up her squad. 12 serving 14. Third set. First 2 taken by the Bobcats. Bobcats 10-4. 6-1 in conference. Cypress 8-9, 5-2 in conference. 3-way tie for first place. Cypress sitting in 4th. A mystifying serve by Audrey Perez. (13) serving 14. And that's long. 14-14 in the third set.
familiar theme through these sets.
Long again, and here's where Zoe Ziegler is causing problems. They say handball. So they say handball, Saddleback gets the point. I was just about to say, with the problem Zoe Ziegler causes is those finesse dinks that they're trying to do. She's able to connect on those. So they try to go power up over the height, and they hit it long. But there was a fingertip on that one, so Trujillo serving with the 1-point lead. Vienna in the right place. Back row attack into the net. In each of the first 3 sets, we've had a score of 15-15.
Yeah, and it's tightly contested. It's one of those ones, whoever were to lose this would say, we let one get away.
McFarland, excellent serve. Vienna to Wilcoxon, that's off a hand. That's off of Hanley. And it's 16-15, Port out, Tajik in. McFarland on the receive, Bontom met by Wilson. One more time, Briseño. Wilcoxon and Utterback, miscommunication, 16 all. So is there such a thing, Mark, as too much teamwork? Maybe not too much teamwork, but too much acquiescence?
Yeah, there is. I mean, too many times you give up shots or your ability to dominate a game so that nobody gets jealous. Nobody says, why is it always you? Everybody says, feed the ball to Corey, to Corey, to Corey. The rest of us finally get to a point we don't want to do that. But if we do it, then it's like, okay, give it to Corey. He should score. And when we lose, there's no, and a good example of this, Fullerton College soccer last year. Men's soccer.
Timeout in the third set, 17-16. The visiting Chargers have the lead on SportsNetUSA.net and Bobcat Volleyball. And you look at the teams. We talked about the standings in the OEC. How do they look for stats-wise? Well, Riverside is leading in kills, 643, the only team that's hit the 600 mark. 5.29 assists per set. Saddleback leads in kills per set mark, 11.94. Service aces per set, 3.37, and overall digs, 939. That leads the OEC. Cypress leads the OEC in blocks with 108. So both these teams well represented in team stats.
Yeah, and well coached, Corey. I mean, that's the thing I think everybody needs to realize, too. It's not just because there's a great deal of talent on one team or the other. These are excellent coaches for both these teams.
And an excellent serve by Kaylin Flores. Kind of looked like a screwball from Emily Rush. It came off the bat wrong. And foul ball, 18-16, serving Cypress. Wilcoxon down to the knees, Perez. Briseño, Wilcoxon now. Bumped back to Lulu Utterback. Flores, Briseño, and another roof by Wilson. So this is the exact point where Cypress is at in the second set. They have to 18 points first. And Saddleback closed it out, 17 serving 18. Float over. Here's Wilson. She calls for it this time. Bump set, that's number 2. Brasinio, Tajic saves, and Craig Crom over on the third, free ball. Here's Flores, another free ball over from Higuera. Crossed over, Utterback, Higuera not tall enough. Utterback said, I'm too strong, and it's 18-18. And now Danko calls a timeout for Cypress in the third set. Again, a Saddleback win on this third set. They close out the match. Cypress wins. We go to number 4.
And you can tell how Cypress all of a sudden realized what you just said, Corey. Either they're listening to SportsNetUSA.net, and Wes said, guys, this is what Corey Neyland just said. Because all of a sudden they realized, hey, every time at this stage of the first 2 sets, we were there. We could win it, and then we lost something. And in losing something, we lost the sets. And look, we're down 2-0 right now. We lose this. Hey, not only do we lose against Saddleback, but we lose in the standings. And when you're playing in your own conference, that loss is worth twice as much. Because I pick up a win on you, and you give me a loss.
Oh,
and
yeah.
remember, you can't make up losses. You can only make up wins.
Cypress is 5-2, Saddleback 6-1. I mean, Cypress wins. They're now tied for second place. Saddleback loses, they drop out of a tie for first place, so they want to stay atop. They want to go back-to-back OEC champs. Wilcoxon with an ace. That's what she does, 19-18. And it's interesting, the 2 best servers are trying to close out. Wren closed out the second set. Now it's Wilcoxon trying to close out the third set.
Well, you know what I always like, because you've heard him more than once. Don't give back a point.
One of Mr. Pavlovich's pet peeves, and Bonton said, I got you, Mark. 19-19. Excellent match between these 2 teams. The 3C2A is loaded in volleyball. Be an interesting tournament this year.
Should be.
Vienna to Wilson. She counters. She's one of the strongest players in the OEC. So Trujillo was out. And now they bring in one of their top 2s. Back to serve. Bryn trying to close it out, 20-19. Up top. Vienna to Utterback, who's played magnificently tonight, 21-19. Again, she came into the match with only 56 kills. Without Gardner, she's taken it upon herself to really step up. Another sinking serve throws off the rhythm of Cypress. Utterback trying to stay in rhythm. McFarland is there. Here's Kalpakov at the net, just over. And Utterback, without thinking, had a mind lapse and is 20 serving 21. So Paisha Bonton serving, 5'9" sophomore from Lucerna High School. (22-20). Out is Sarah, in is Addison. Sophie Vienna. She's a Charger from Edison. Edison High School product. Denied. Lulu one more. The second timeout taken by Cypress, their final. 23-20. Saddleback with the lead in the third set on SportsNetUSA.net. Mark, I was going to make a West Side Story comment just for you.
Okay.
But I won't.
Oh, all right. I was ready. I mean, I could sing the chorus, you know, if you were going to do it. So, you know. Don't forget next week here on SportsNetUSA.net, a little soccer. Ed Ford, Albert Robles, myself here on SportsNetUSA.net. And then the coming weekend, well, it's SCFA football one more time. So a variety of voices you may be hearing. Matt, Noah, Corey, Mark, Ryan, Albert. Who knows? Maybe even again the encore by the one and only, the man who has his own entourage, the legend that continues. The franchise may come back and do another game here for SportsNetUSA.net. Just, you know, hey, who knows? Supply and demand, supply and demand.
And there's action on the floor. Utterback. McFarland, too much for her. Match point.
You know what I heard? Ed Ford actually said that if Rashawn were to do another game, he'd buy him a luxurious home in the high desert.
You know, Rashawn went gangster on him, like that lyric, the rep grows bigger. As Sophie Vienna tries to close out Cypress here. 24-20 in the third set. Zoe Ziegler said not yet. 21 serving 24.
Go to that famous restaurant in the high desert, 3-Eye Wallapai.
Haley Church. Down 3. Can Saddleback close it out on this? Addison Port, no. 22-24. And speaking of SCFA football, the Saddleback football team, they'll be at Palomar tomorrow. Haley Church, the sophomore. Wilcoxon, Vienna. Utterback would be fitting. Yes, ma'am. She closes it out. 25-22. Lulu Utterback improves the Saddleback Bobcats to 7-1 in conference, 11-4 overall. Cypress drops to 5-3 in conference play, 8-10 overall. So one more in 3 sets. 25-23, 25-21, 25-22. Saddleback Bobcats win. You've been listening to Saddleback Bobcat Volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net.